So that's why, boys and girls, you get your band agreement in place. You get your songwriting splits in place before every time. Own your own publishing, get your songwriting splits in place, and get your band agreement in place if you have a band.
you,
First thing you do.
you sound
And
like damn, yeah, like I don't know, those like how to be a musician tutorial websites. Like,
I'm telling you, this is why. This is why. Because there was not a problem until we licensed our first song,
I
and
feel,
then it became a problem.
mm,
So you might as well err on that side of just get it done. You should be so lucky as to have a problem. You should, but get it done first so that when there's $40,000, $80,000, whatever it is, that all of a sudden creates a problem if it's not there.
mm.
Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. This is the time. Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. I wanna be fine. Life gone crazy, someone save me. 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 I'm on this emotional roller coaster.
Alright, podcast and stuff. We just started. Boom. Yeah.
What was up?
Yeah. Who am I here with today?
It's Moses on a motorbike.
Mm.
It's
Yo,
been a minute.
it has been, but no, I mean, in the rare form, because I used to call you the ghost and all that. And,
Right.
and
I
then
know. I heard that.
in the rare form, technically it hasn't been a minute. I saw you in person like early March, right?
That's right. You're the last social gathering that I went to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, little did I know I wouldn't be there no more. You can't see
Yeah.
this. Maybe I'll bring the camera lower. My dog came. Boom.
Aw, look at that cute thing.
Yeah,
Little did we know that would be the last social gathering
I
we could
know.
all get to.
I'll let my dog stay for a minute. But
Oh,
yeah, that was wild, man. Like, who knew that
wow,
that's where things were gonna go? Like,
crazy,
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah,
Um, but no, you mentioned your name, and I was like, dude, for years, I don't think I knew your real name. Like, cause you have
yeah.
you have Moses like on everywhere on Facebook.
I know.
Instagram makes sense, but like on Facebook. So like for years you were just some dude, and I think like for a while, like I think I've met you in real life, but I don't think I knew that you were you. If that makes sense.
Really,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. I mean, it was funny because when I first got on Facebook, uh, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I
Yeah.
just signed up. I didn't know about having your own music account, so I
Mm.
signed up just as a personal account in the first name Moses, and I can't believe that it got through it got through all the algorithms because usually you're not allowed to make a profile with a fake name
Yeah. But
for
what
some
year
reason.
was this? Because I feel like there was a year where they
It
really
was
started cracking down on that.
it was a while ago, so I
Mm.
guess so. Anyway, they that was legit and it got through, and it also helps because I didn't for what I do professionally, right? I didn't want to have my name,
Mm.
Sean
Mm.
Connor, sort of with all this weirdo Moses on my alias sort of personality, my sort of alternative, you know,
Do, do,
perspective on
do you
things.
mind that you said your name there, or you got edit out, or not?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's not that. It's just I didn't want to have Sean Connor under all my,
Got
anti
you.
sort of corporate and sort of
As you work
you
for
know
the man. Do you,
exactly.
do you
Yeah.
feel an internal battle inside as you as you do both in your life?
Not at all. Not at all. And like it's like so as I get older too, sort of those personalities have been coming together more.
Oh, it's like Venom. We are
Uh,
one. We are one.
right, right. And since I've started my own business, it's like I can kind of do more what I want, not be
Mm.
so worried about that. But some of my clients, I'm worried about. That they do research and they saw my name is Sean Connor with all my Moses shit. That you might be like, oh, you know, a little
Um,
speculative.
where did the name come from?
Moses on motorbike,
Yeah, yeah. So you got Moses,
it,
but we're like the motorbike.
dude. It comes from a lyric from a Tears for Fears song.
Oh, really? What song?
So it's from it's um, break you down again.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I was doing this. So the first thing I ever did in Ableton was
Oh
this
shit.
1993. What's up?
No, no, no. I was gonna write it
Uh,
down on notepad and then it just went on your camera, but
that's
I took
fine.
it off. It's good.
Uh, so when I was doing this, first thing I did in Ableton
Real quick, you said
was
breakdown?
yeah. So here, let me show you.
All right. I just wanted to check it out after the show. Hear the song.
It's amazing.
Mm.
Um, Break it down again. Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. Anyway, there's a lyric in there. So I was doing this mix, this '93 mix, where I was using only samples from songs that were released in 1993.
Yeah.
Right. So I played some of it at that show you filmed. Those flips, all those flips.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are samples from tracks that were released in 1993.
Mm.
And when I was doing that, I heard this "Break It Down Again," this "Tears for Fears" song, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so in there, he has a lyric where he talks about blasting off to heaven like Moses on a motorbike. You know? I was like, "That's the most ridiculous lyric I've ever heard," and so it kind of just stuck. You know.
Damn, I thought I was gonna like do you again this year. I don't remember what month that was gonna happen because I think you said your birthday on Facebook was fake or something. Um,
That's my fake Yeah, even that's my fake Moses on motorbike birthday.
oh, but I was hoping I was record you again this year because I feel like we were going on that 1 year thing. Because I was
Yeah,
like, man, he got me the wrong year because now I'm so much better now because I flip the cameras and I move around with the other one. So I don't know if you've
hmm
seen any of the newer ones, but like
I
it would have
have.
looked
Yeah,
real
totally.
dope. It would have looked real dope versus the stagnant cameras I was using.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I follow you, man. I follow all your, I try to most of your podcasts, most of your video stuff that you put up.
Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you. There's gonna be less uh concerts, I think, from now on. Well, obviously, there's gonna be less right now. But I
Yeah.
mean, just in I think I've often talked about it, but I think uh this lockdown has probably helped me. I think do the things that I've been wanting to do in terms of like breaking away and stepping away.
Right.
Because I have no choice. So a lot of times we do things because they're habitual, but like
Right.
once you make the new habit, usually it's not the roughest thing to stick with. So
Totally.
I'll still be
Yeah. Yeah.
posting 500 billion videos because I got the vault that I want to purge. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the story.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne made some type of song that I can't remember. I don't know if it's like 30,000, some with numbers, but basically he raps for like 30 or 40 minutes, and it's a
Yeah.
mixtape. And pretty much he wanted to purge all his written rhymes because now he's one of those rappers who doesn't write anything no more. But he
Nice.
wanted to use everything that he's ever written. So
Right.
I'm like I want to purge my vault and like I'm gonna dump all this. Like I got stuff from 2014. I got
Yeah.
what was Brainwave's name before Brainwave? Like,
Artificial Earth
yeah, I
Machine.
got a set from him. I
Yeah.
got a set from my favorite dude, Falcon Fucker, like the last thing, like
Yeah.
cause
Yeah.
he doesn't exist no more. So
Right.
I got this is special for me, but there's these two artists, Pagan Gold and Zerktronic, and they
Yeah.
had a bickering, and so they're not even friends in real life. You know, some shit happened that
So
I won't
shit.
go through,
Yeah.
but they played cool beat sets, and I got one unreleased set from them. So I got like a bunch of stuff in
Nice.
the vaults, that I
Nice.
haven't released
Yeah.
yet. I did it. I gave it to you, but like, have you even posted yours?
I haven't posted mine.
Do you plan to or
Yeah.
not?
No, I'm going to for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I just haven't posted it yet. But dude, that's funny you said. I saw years ago. I saw this Russian like music page that I was doing some stuff with. It's like something something TV. Anyway, they had a program where they were gonna have you upload all of your like unfinished music
Yeah.
basically to a server, and then you could dig through other people's shit and
Mm.
grab whatever unfinished tracks that they had and like just use those as source files,
Oh
right?
wow.
So basically, you take all your unfinished, sounds and everything, and just have it open for anybody to grab because you're not going to finish it. And
That's
then anybody could grab your shit and use it as samples, which I
that's
thought was
what's
kind of
up.
a cool idea.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I've never been on Splice, but I think most
So
people know
yeah,
Splice now because all the samples you can get. But I think the first time it was introduced to me,
it was for
me
sharing, right?
yes, yeah, it
Yeah.
was introduced to me like that. I don't even know if they did samples back then. If they did, I didn't even hear about it. But I was
Yeah.
like, why would I ever want to share? Because I can be very slow to adapt when it comes to things. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
was like, why would I want to do that? And I never got on.
Yeah.
Um,
That's right. I never got on either for some reason. It
Even
seems like
now?
I'm not on there. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
just it seems like it should something I should totally would get into.
I'm not on there either. Now that I'm taking music more seriously, I think once I get an income back and then things are more normalized,
Yeah.
like I don't know, like I'm probably gonna have to iron it out. If I'm really gonna, I believe I'm gonna stick to the song a week thing, and if I really do that, then I can totally see me like, oh, I better get on here just to get some new like drums or something. But
Right.
but like I said, I'm always stuck in my ways. I don't mind using that same drum kit 40,000 times, and that's probably why I have
So,
such odd beat patterns because you have the same damn sound. You got to do something
right.
to entertain
Yeah.
yourself with it.
Yeah. So
Like,
I just started using this thing called Loop Cloud, which is
what's
pretty
that do?
interesting. It's just it's a plugin essentially in Ableton that you
Mm.
can search their samples.
Wait,
You know,
So it's in Ableton, like it's from
it's
Ableton
just
or?
no, it's not from Ableton, so it's a separate platform, right? But it's tons of different sample packs and shit. But you drop it in, you plug in into Ableton, so that
Mm.
within Ableton you can search samples, right? So instead of going online and looking and saving the library, you actually can just look through their sample library right there, which is pretty cool. And they have a
Oh,
couple
okay.
different they have a couple different VST instruments that you can use. But it just makes searching for samples super fast.
Oh, wow. Maybe
But
write
if
that
you want,
down too so I could check that
yeah,
out. Wait,
totally.
Loop Cloud, you said?
That's, yeah, Loop Cloud.
Cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
man. Let me try this origin story question. So
All right.
how does this probably predates the Moses. How did Sean get into music?
Dude, that does. So I got into music. So my first band was in high school. So this is way back because I'm older
Mm,
than most of. So this is like 1996,
yeah.
right? So we had a band called Plane, and at that time we formed a band just to do the talent show, But it ended up being so much fun. So back it was like a 311 meets Incubus kind of band. So there was like two MCs. I was one of the MCs,
Mm,
and my other friend was the other MC. And so we did like rap, rock, funk kind of stuff. Like
okay.
that sort of vibe and that style. And then we stuck together, and we ended up writing, I guess, two records. And then we ended up in high school getting some shows in Austin, which is crazy. So we
Mm.
used to play this place called the Voodoo Lounge in Austin, which was on Second Street. It's not there anymore, but it was
What
pretty
what
dope.
what
We
what
had,
year was this again?
96, 97.
Okay. I just feel like I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever been there, but I feel like I've heard of it.
The Voodoo Lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an old, it was an all ages venue, right?
Oh, wow.
So back then there was only like Liberty Lounge. We played Voodoo Lounge and we played Steamboat, which was cool.
Mm.
But being 17, 18 in high school, having a show, then everybody would come down. So we had people from Westwood and people from Georgetown that would come out and see us play, that's kind of where I caught the bug,
Mm.
playing those shows.
Oh, man.
I think I uploaded to Instagram. I found some old footage of us covering "Mama Said Knock You Out," which is like but like in a hardcore version, so I was like a big closer. We used to cover. Yeah, it was dope.
Oh, man. That's funny. And what
So
what
that's the
nah.
origin. Yeah, so that's where it started.
Mm.
And then years later, like in the early 2000s, I started enjoying a band called the Lemurs
Yeah.
in Austin, and so we were kind of an indie rock pop band in Austin, sort of like the Killers kind of meets Block Party, that sort of Franz Ferdinand style, that the indie dance rock that was kind of going on at that time.
Mm.
Yep. And then after that sort of fell apart. I sold all my gear and went all in the box, and that's when I got into Ableton, and so that's when I found out about the Ableton user group meetup. So I joined that, and I met Steve, and
And then
we started
eventually
feedback.
feedback. What
Yeah.
what what makes you because I guess you're having success. You told me about the label thing, potential. What makes you like I guess give up the band thing and go in the box or
So what happened with the band was a couple of things. First thing was that we got sued by our first drummer,
oh shit.
right? And so that was a huge deal, sort of difficulty for the band. Which is the first thing when I was sort of came into some feedback meetings. I was like, all right, where's y'all's paper? Like, who owns this? I was like, do you guys have a contract? Is this a corporation? So I came in like super hot, like, from that perspective. And they did. I don't even know if we still do, but the first thing when I came to the meeting, they're all like, it was like, what's up? Who owns this? Where's the paperwork? Let me see the ownership.
The first
Try
papers,
to,
because you're on the new feedback, the first papers ever have been for these things, these
I know.
whatever you want to call these releases now. I don't know, mixtapes or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, but that's the first
Which
paperwork for anything feedback I've ever seen.
I know, and I wrote that agreement too.
Did you really?
So the user agreement I wrote in the
So how come you
game.
only started on number 3? You knew about all of these.
I did. So our drummer ended up suing us, right?
Yeah.
We ended up settling with him out of court for like 40 grand. So we had to pay like payments and installments. And he sued us because we started licensing our first EP, which is the one that, our first EP we did really well. We licensed it to a couple different people. We licensed it to MTV. We licensed the whole album, and we used it like in between like shows and out, cutting out of stuff. We licensed it to MTV. We licensed it to NBC, that show Las Vegas that has Tom Selleck. I don't know if it's on anymore. Anyway, we licensed the track to that. We licensed the track to an Australian movie called Newcastle. We licensed the track to Toyota for a web campaign that they were doing. And we licensed the track to another indie film. So we made some really good money from that first record, right? We got some good publicity. And we started talking to Sony. And so we were going back and forth about the negotiations. And we were getting bigger, touring, getting bigger, put out a second EP. So, got bigger and bigger. I think I sent you that clip from that.
You sent me
from,
Zona
Mohawk.
Rosa. Oh, you sent me the picture, yeah, but the videos were Zona Rosa.
When we sold out Mohawk, which was cool. So that was going well, and then the whole economy collapsed, right? 2008, late 2008.
Oh, okay, the housing stuff.
Everything just sort of bottomed out.
Yeah.
Financially, money-wise, nobody was signing anybody. Everything just sort of froze up. We just got ghosted. Didn't hear back from Sony whatsoever, which was bizarre because we gotten pretty far along in discussions. So the economy sort of collapsed, and that, and we were touring. So we were touring too much, and I had a little difference of opinion with the lead singer at the time. I wanted to go back and record a full length, and he wanted to keep touring. And so I essentially quit touring. We hired another, essentially, keyboard player that did what I did to tour, and I stayed at home. And so we were working on another record, and then it just kind of fizzled out.
So, like, all of it fizzled out, or did they keep going without you, or like it just fizzled out, all of it?
No, they kept going. They kept going for about another 2 years, and I was just back sort of writing with them, and producing, and they kept performing.
Okay.
And then slowly that just kind of faded away.
Why? Maybe I missed it, but so why did the drummer sue you for those things?
So he recorded on the first EP, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, he moved to Dallas, and he quit showing up to practices, couldn't make shows, right? So we had to get a different drummer. So we got a different drummer, and so he had certain rights to the mechanical royalties because he played on the record,
Yeah.
And so he had rights to get money from his own ASCAP, from his own publishing, and then we had made an agreement with him. We were going to pay him, as he should have received a percentage from the publishing deals, right? Which we were paying in installments. Now he found some attorney in Dallas to come up with a completely nonsensical argument that he was owed a percentage of every show that we played.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so that was the big point that we had to settle on, because there's really no precedent in Texas law for that. So we were arguing. So he was arguing basically he wanted a percentage from every show that we played.
Damn.
And there's no way that we could do that. And there's no way we could afford to go to trial.
Is that like arguing for like a performance royalty, basically, or?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but he's not there. He's not performing.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know. Anyway, it became bigger than the attorney that we had. And so we decided, we would settle for this amount rather than risk going to a trial, since there was really no precedent for that kind of a claim.
That's crazy.
So, I know, it was terrible. And so that's why, boys and girls, you get your band agreement in place. You get your songwriting splits in place. Every time. Own your own publishing, get your songwriting splits in place, and get your band agreement in place if you have a band. First thing you do.
You sound like damn, yeah, like, I don't know, those like how to be a musician tutorial websites.
I'm telling you, this is why. Because there was not a problem until we licensed our first song. And then it became a problem. So you might as well err on that side of just get it done. You should be so lucky as to have a problem. You should but get it done first so that when there's $40,000, $80,000, whatever it is, that all of a sudden creates a problem if it's not there.
Mm. I gotta ask. So like, I feel like I'm less interested these days, but this was a big question for me. I'm always asking like, how people like got what they got or did what they did. So how do you get that any of those opportunities for the EP, like the MTVs and
How do we had a management group that was supporting us, right? And so with that
so how do
management
you even
team,
get that then? Like how'd you go from like band to getting people like, yo, we can probably take this and turn it into some money, money
so
opportunities.
we probably have been playing live in Austin, in and around Austin for almost a year, right? And so we'd been building a name, we'd been building up fans. So eventually we got to where we were, playing emos outside, and playing Mohawk outside, right?
Mm.
Back when emos was on Red River. So we got big enough. So we were starting to get reviews in the Chronicle. We were starting to get reviews, in a bunch of online magazine press. And then eventually, once we got big enough, we started having different people approach us about management or, you know, opportunities like that. And so once we got big enough, basically it was when our friends, we stopped coming to the shows and we didn't notice that it was just our friends. So all of a
Yeah.
sudden it was people we didn't know and we're like, oh my God, who are you? Who are you people? And so then once that sort of shift happened, we got big enough to where I think that they were, looking at the potential investment in the band,
Mm.
right, as an opportunity. And then doing that and getting that management group, what they did, they invested like 10 or 15,000, I'm not sure, in with a publicist. And so that's how you get that recognition is you sign with the publicist. The publicist, right? They're the ones that send out your emails and they hype you up to all of their contacts that they have. So it's through, right, getting big enough to get people in this, to watch us, getting that management group, the management group getting a publicist, and then the publicist, expanded us out, started getting us communicating with NBC, MTV.
Mm. Do you
So that was my, if you're, an indie group or if you're, just starting out and you can afford it, there's different tiers, but look for a publicist because a publicist is going to get your shit heard
mm.
far greater and a far wider range than you possibly could sending emails from your account. So they're not going to open a Gmail account or from your website, but they're going to open something from a publicist that they work with.
Mm. Did y'all do anything to make like all the non-friends come, like anything special, or did y'all just kept doing your thing and one day it just happened?
We kept playing shows, but back
Yeah.
then it was different. Like it was people would just go out to see shows. That's when Austin was the
Austin?
real live music. Yeah, I mean there was shows all the time, so people
Yeah.
would go see shows Friday weekends. And back then there was a thing called METV, my music entertainment television. I think I see some of those links, but we played 2 live performances on METV.
Mm.
That also helped because they came and filmed us performing live, and then we got on that local rotation, and so that just kept growing. And the more you play, the bigger you draw, then the bigger the booking agents are going to put you with better touring acts,
Mm.
So once we got sort of opening up for like, Silver Sun Pickups were big at the time. Spoon, we were, opening up for them and
Yeah.
Emos. Stars at Stubbs outside. So once we got sort of those bigger ones, that's when we started, having a bit of a name for ourselves and started touring. And then we started plotting tours, so Midwest tours. We went West Coast LA tours. The MTV deal we met up with one of their producers, and we had to play an acoustic show at METV in front of all the producers for all their TV shows in the room. It was like they had a luncheon. And so we're on a stage and we basically played 3 or 4 or 5 songs, and then they took the record. And we heard from them a couple months later. They wanted to license it. So
Damn. That's crazy. Acoustics, so like they need to test that you're real.
it was nuts. We never played, and we were, big electro band. Like
Yeah.
I had a Juno 6, and I had a Alesis Ion. I had a, SP808 sampler, and then the keyboard or the guitar player playing guitar and keys. I mean, we were a loud electro rock band, so we had to strip that all down and play acoustic, which was kind of fun.
Mm. So that reminds me of MTV Unplugged. The fact that you had to do that.
No, totally. It was weird. It was fun, but it was kind of
I'm
Weird,
surprised
especially.
there's no like equivalent to that now. Like, now,
No,
there's many for me, Boiler Room will be the original, but now that so many people do it, Boiler Room's forgotten by many people. But there's
right,
no like this is the live series that is makes you go acoustic, like no matter what you do.
right, right, right.
That has not really picked up, like
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why. I mean, it's a good point because it was such a huge industry for them. I mean, that was a huge thing, even for artists, right? Like
and
that
they used to
Nirvana,
do albums, yeah. Like I think Nirvana
yeah,
has an unplugged album, right?
so one of the biggest, better sellers. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people like that Natalie Merchant. I never heard unplugged was huge all over the '90s, and the Nirvana was huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know why they don't do it anymore, but yeah, it's weird
Maybe
because it was
maybe
good.
keep going.
What's that?
Nah, go.
No, it was always fun to hear those songs stripped down like that.
If I ever maybe that'll be the next thing for me. If I do decide, all right, I'm gonna film concerts again, but they'll
Has to
have
be
to be
acoustic.
acoustic. You know what?
Yeah,
Like that'll be my thing because that'll turn off so many people that most people are always gonna say no. So that way, like it'll keep the frequency low versus right now me just showing up to every gig.
right,
Like
right, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Because they're gonna have to actually play it, and most of them probably can't play it because they're making it on computers. So that'll keep
Right.
everybody a no.
That'll keep the musicians at a certain level too.
That'd be
Yeah.
that too, but that would be dope. Like, yeah, like just get somebody because some of these beat makers can play, and even if they can't play, dude, they can learn their songs in whatever weird instrument, you know.
Totally. That'd
So,
be awesome to hear.
and it would be different. It would be a unique thing.
Oh, it
Um,
totally would be.
yeah, I might have to write that down in the real notepad. Screw the Windows, like,
Yeah.
the phone one.
The phone notepad.
Yeah, man. To make my own
Yeah.
unplugged series, but I gotta make sure I do that. Not now because I know. Well, one we can't because Corona, but two, I know me. Like I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea, and then I don't finish what I'm working on now, so I need to chill. I
Man.
need.
Every I know the feeling, dude. Every time, every day, somebody and I'm like, I gotta follow up on that. Nope.
Yeah. So now that you're you know, I was gonna say outside looking in, you prioritize the real life more than the music, as you should. I've made that mistake in that I don't, right? I'm trying to find that balance, but like.
So,
Do you I don't know if it's just maybe different stages in life, but do you prefer that like now you're alone, like and you can just do everything yourself? You don't need like the band, like is it a
dude,
different thing?
it's a totally different thing, man. And it was really, really weird adjusting at first, right? When I first went into electronic production, which I'd always really, really liked electronic music, and I was really into it for years and years. And but getting rid of the outboard gear and going in, it was incredible. It was so freeing. I was like, oh, it's just me. Like I don't have to make any decisions with anybody else. I'm just gonna do whatever I want, and that
Mm,
was incredibly liberating for a long time because lemurs are like 5 people,
yeah.
and so there was a lot of sort of what key are we in? What are we gonna do on this turnaround? A lot of different ways to arrange a song, and we would workshop a song forever. And then me, once I started playing, electronic music and the DAW, I was like, oh my god, I can just crank these out.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I put out a ton of stuff, and some of the stuff like lyrically that you're like, I didn't know you sang and stuff.
Yeah.
Most of my early demos, it's all me writing songs like with pre-chorus, chorus, hooks, and turnarounds, and vocals over it. And then as I got more, actually, it wasn't until Feedback Alliance that I tried to do more beat stuff and instrumental stuff, which is even more difficult for me because I had no idea how these dudes were writing like 2.5, 3 minute songs that didn't have a notable verse or chord. I was like, how the fuck they write this? Because it would just kind of go off and it would be cohesive, but I had no clue how to do that. I didn't know how to make changes using filters and just different sort of production techniques that they would use to differentiate between parts. I'm used to a chordal structure or a change, through the progression of a melody or a scale that would signal a chord change or signal a part change.
Mm.
So that took a long time, but it was really freeing because I didn't have to answer to anybody until about 2 or 3 years in, and I was like, man, I'm so craving collaboration.
Mm.
I was craving that sort of working work with someone again. It wasn't until one of the rounds we had to collaborate with somebody. So me and Merm collaborated, and it was one of
Oh
the
wow.
best. It was one
OGs.
of yeah, and it was one of the best rounds that I ever had with feedback, and it was incredible just to getting us going back and forth
Damn,
because his
you should send me that track, just to hear it.
oh
I don't
so
remember. I remember that round. I don't
yep
remember. That was a while ago, so I don't remember any track from that
oh
round.
totally no it was incredible when it how it came out. And it was because his mixing is so much better than mine. And I would send him stuff, and he would have mixed it and send it back. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing, man. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, collaborative wise, there's been very few collaborations as Moses on a motorbike, just because there hasn't been that many opportunities or that many sort of situations to sort of to link up with that other
Mm.
producers.
There's I think if you find the right person, there'll be way more opportunity. I think just a lot of us in feedback, we're trying to balance real life
Oh
along
yeah,
with that, and there was so many. I think in the future I'll probably be collaborating a lot more as I make
yeah,
myself a vocalist, and at some point I'm gonna be so good that people will just bother me,
yeah, yeah.
And
So
that will probably be the way. It probably won't be like, yo, man, let's make a beat together. Because even me, like, I've had a lot of people say that to me in the past, and I don't know. Granted, I wasn't doing music at that time too, so that could have been a big part of it. Like, I was more
yeah,
focused on the video stuff,
yeah,
but I think that'll be my main way is the vocal thing, and I'm doing my first one this month. Like, my friend's
yeah.
album, yeah, I'm a rap on his album. And
Nice, dude.
so yeah, man, it's slowly starting. I want to get to
Yeah,
Lil Wayne's numbers. I want to
yeah.
do
He throws up
77
again too.
features in the summer. I want to do 77 features in one
Nah,
summer.
that's
But
fun. Actually, one of the talking about collaboration.
yeah,
One of the first people I reached out to was Tomas after his I think his first feedback submission. After that first track that he submitted, I heard
mm,
it. I hit him up and I was like, "Yo," because he's using so much melodic, structure. He uses so many like organic instruments. It was like a guitar part that had this
yeah.
sort of arpeggiated thing. And I hit him up and I was like, "Yo, like that submission was great." I was like, "You want to do some collabs sometime?" And he was in San Antonio before he moved up to
Oh
Austin.
man,
He was
this
like,
is that long.
yeah, yeah. And he was like, "I'm moving up to Austin. And I'll hit you up when I get up there."
Yeah.
And so whatever that kind of ended up never happening. But I remember hearing his track and being like, "Oh my god, that dude is sick," and it sort of latched up more with what I was doing, sort of melodically, and he had chords and scales and shit. Yeah.
You should totally hit him up now. Um,
Oh, he's doing great now, man. Shit's dope.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's in better now. But I mean, you should hit him up now because he's I don't want to say what it is, so because his family stuff, but he's
Yeah.
he's preoccupied with, real life stuff right now. But honestly, when things are normal,
Yep.
he is pretty much always down to collaborate.
Oh
So
yeah, I saw him and Casey put out something. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like he's always look he used to beat me like up like yo like if I would be at his house like yo man like let's make something. And
Yeah.
finally like I started saying yes maybe around the fall when I was just getting back into music, and we
Right.
made probably made either 2 to 4 beats. None of them are out yet. That's my only disappointing thing is like he kind of builds up a catalog and then he
Yeah.
picks the right time for each one. But I think someone rapped on one of them, so that one might come out soon. So
I know he did that one with Promise, right?
that's a great track, dude.
Yeah.
That's a
So
great track.
who was
It's
that? Was
on
that
his
mess with you?
album Dead Nature, maybe
Yeah.
track 3 or something. I don't know.
I was joking with you that Promise is like the Kevin Hart right now. The feedback crew.
Why? Why you say that?
Because he's on everybody's stuff. Like he's on every project.
He's on,
I
yeah, he's
love.
on brainwaves, and yeah, I could
He's
see it
on.
continuing to happen.
Yeah. No,
I,
he's all. I love Promise. Dude. This shit's great.
he did a track for someone else. I feel like I do
Right.
remember who it was. No, 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 but that one's out already. Someone that it hasn't come out yet.
He's
Um,
doing one with Man of the Down right now.
yeah,
Elon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's who it
Yeah.
was. He
Yeah.
said that at the IS when we were at
Yeah. Yeah.
IS.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
that should be cool. 'Cause he's another
Yeah.
dude that I don't get to. It's rare I get to see him. I feel like maybe it was last South by last time I saw him. We were talking about cameras and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that should be cool. Maybe one day you know, if I don't know what you think about my vocals, maybe we'll do something. You know, maybe we'll
No,
do
I'd love
something.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
No, I heard that other track and I immediately had all these vocal ideas.
Oh yeah.
That last one you sent me, I was like, I wanted to do all sort of weird doubling, like do, you know,
Which one?
like it.
Which one we talking about? Is it the fences?
Yeah, fences.
Oh, dude, I need to send you the one I finished up this week.
Yeah.
That one's a trippy one for sure. I don't know if I'll have. I hope I have more like that in the. Well, not like that, but it's definitely it's singy-ish with a lot more effects on my voice. You know,
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
so
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
send you that.
Do it. Send it, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Can I even ask about this? You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but like you mentioned you started your own business before.
Yeah.
Man, can I ask what that is or not?
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's just essentially it's like a little research company that we do litigation support research, right?
Mm,
So we help attorneys do research for a particular case or a particular issue or problem. So my wife, she's got her PhD in cellular molecular biology. So
oh
attorneys,
shit.
yeah. So attorneys can hire her to sort of prove up causation, or a link between, an injury or damage in a product. So we mainly work for plaintiffs' firms, right, representing injured parties.
Mm.
So we do a lot of work against, Monsanto, Johnson and Johnson. So these big pharma companies that we hire to do research
Mm.
for lawyers about a specific issue or topic that they need more help at, and they don't have the staff necessarily, or they don't have a PhD cell molecular biologist on staff to sort of answer some of their questions.
Got you. Like, how did you even get to doing that stuff, or was it through her field of work?
No, it was through me. So I worked for a law firm for about 10 years as a lead
Mm.
researcher for them. And so eventually it got to a point where, the firm was sort of changing management. There's going to be a new managing partner. And it's the situation that I was going to be in. I was like, you know what, I can do this on my own, but I can do it for more firms. So once they were changing management, I decided to step out, start my own company. And so now we have like, 6 or 7 different law firms we work with.
Mm.
One out of Chicago, one out of Colorado. So some big firms. And sort of it's been nice because we set our own schedule. We get to sort of, determine how many hours we want to work. We have a contract for document review for a huge mass tort that's like 60 hours a month. So it's been interesting.
Damn.
And then
How?
I also do like what's called trial technician. So I do all the in trial, right? So all the video depositions, right? I play all those for the attorney. Any exhibits that they want to pull up, I pull those up on the screen. And sort of any what's called a demonstrative design, which is essentially like graphic design, like a graph or a chart or an image. I make those and use them for the attorney. So that's kind of crazy. Being in trial, actually in the setting, I'm responsible for all anything that gets presented to the jury comes through me.
How did you get down this law path, like law career
Um,
path?
so I got a undergraduate degree in philosophy, a graduate degree in English, and then I was thinking about being a professor. And then once I went to a few conferences for papers, I decided that's the last thing I wanted to do. Because this academics are basically having a conversation with two people for their whole life.
Yeah.
Like my thesis advisor was having the same conversation with 2 or 3 other scholars for 30 years.
Mm.
And I was like, man, that's the path, and I just don't, I don't see that. So then I got a job writing business proposals for this company, and then eventually found my way into working for this law firm. Yeah,
Mm.
doing research. So once I got in there doing research, I just sort of developed my skill set, while I was working there
Oh man.
and going to trial. So there's not that many attorneys that go to trial, and there's not that many support staff that actually can, go into trial and know, how to set up the gear, how to interface with the clerks, and how to present depositions. And it's a small sort of percentage of people that do that work. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
How did were you doing, maybe not when you're doing that, but were you doing that same law path while like Lemurs and stuff is going on?
It was after Lemurs, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
So I was finishing my thesis when I was in the Lemurs, and then after I quit touring, I finished my thesis, and then I started working at the law firm. Yeah,
Got you. Damn.
yeah,
So if 2008 don't happen, like maybe you on a different path.
100%. Yeah, it was crazy. We were so pretty far in negotiations, man. It was weird to get to that far and then just be completely ghosted and not hear anything.
Mm. What do you want to do in music that you haven't done yet, though? At this point, because you've
That's
kind of got a
tough.
taste of a
Yeah,
few things, you know?
yeah. So I've liked a big milestone for me was putting out an EP. Like putting that out with Chris Matters and those guys. I think so. I didn't ever think I would put out my own EP of electronic music. So that was kind of a big check mark. Well, I guess playing live was big, and then putting out EP was pretty big. So music wise, it's tough in terms of goals. Um, I'm not sure, man.
Mm.
At this point, I'm just trying to find what's the next thing that kind of inspires me. In terms of what I want to do, and I think it's going to be a crossover between something like the medium that the Avalanches does. Like taking old footage, right, cutting that up, blending it over each other, sort of making mashup videos. I like those a
Mm.
lot. I did one with Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who. Like I took a lot of those instruments and made my own beat over it, and I chopped up the video. That was fun.
I think
Um,
I feel like I might have seen that a while ago.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I took the Toadies, Tyler. That's on Tyler. I remixed it in sort of this 80s vibe, and I
Mm.
used that as the soundtrack for the trailer Mannequin. So I chopped up that Mannequin trailer and used that over top of it, which is kind of fun. That kind of stuff, like mixing different genres and different mediums, I guess. But that to what scale, I don't know.
Mm. So videos, those video things.
Videos with audio, yeah. I've been
Yeah.
working on that for a while.
I
It's
feel like
just a new,
I'm trying to go the opposite, and I guess on like some personal stuff, like I like journeys for the music. Like I'm like, man, like I never got good at this one thing, so I'm like, I just want to get good at this for me. You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
always
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to narrow the focus down. You know?
Yeah. So I played one live show at the Shed, I think a couple years ago, and it
Oh
was the
wow.
first time that I had my whole set synced up to video.
Mm.
And that was like a super fun experience, and I want to get back to that. So every trigger had a video, right? And I was doing sort of frequency swells, and the frequency was tied to like the saturation or the darkness of the image, and so the whole set was video tied to the audio, which
What
was a
are
lot
you
of fun.
using aside like Ableton and what else?
That was Ableton, and I think that was with, let me see, Resolume.
It is Resolution.
I think so. I think that was that. But they also at that time had a few different like plugins. There was like one was like pick. There was like a music to GIF plugin that I used, so it would run GIFs, and then another one was just running video straight out of the Ableton stream, right?
Mm.
So I forgot what the plugin was, but it was a dude that basically made a video rack that you could drop video on it instead of audio, and it would
Ah,
run the video. Yeah,
and when
it's
when
in the it's in it's in the Max for Live library.
okay. What when you and then when you're doing that, you can kind of just focus on your live like Ableton stuff, and the
Yeah,
video will just happen.
sync right up to it.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
that's what's up.
exactly. Yeah. So
Nice.
that was a lot of fun. Yep. So something in that, yeah, tying in video with the audio somehow. Yeah.
Mm. All right, I'm gonna go down this list.
All right.
What So when you first got on, I asked like who you are. So I'm asking, what are you?
What is Moses on a motorbike?
Or yeah, or if
Yeah.
that's how you want to take it. But I'm
Yeah.
or you as a person, whatever. But what are you? You know, like
So what I am is Moses is but I like that old like Donna stuff. I try to be as digitally disruptive as possible, right? So
mm,
making memes, making stupid content, making commentary on whatever sort of you know trending or social you know uh, conversations going on at the time, right?
mm,
So remember that like KLF, they're a big influence on me in the '90s. still are, and the avalanches, there's do sort of similar stuff. Yeah, so digital descent. That's what I'm interested
Mm. Who is your best friend?
in. Best friend. Hmm. My best friend probably is the old drummer from the Lemurs named Danny Reich.
Mm.
Aside from my wife, of course. But
Yeah,
Danny,
yeah.
yeah, me and Danny have been pretty close for a while. He's got a studio called Good Danny Studio.
Mm.
It's now in Lockhart, but it was in Austin. Yeah, so he was the engineer, producer. He's worked with some pretty big people. But yeah,
Mm.
it's probably the best, tightest, longest homie.
What made him go to Lockhart?
Rent was too high. So he had this. Our old studio was off of East Fourth Street.
Damn.
Yeah, and we were there for years, and then the rent just kept going up. The landowner wouldn't sell him the place, so he only could get a lease, and he was always worried about it getting pulled out from under him.
Yeah.
So he found the house and put a studio in it in Lockhart for like 80 grand. It was like super cheap and super nice place. No, there's a lot of like little Austin indie artists moving out there because it's just cheaper. It's like a nice
How
thing.
far is that from Austin?
Dude, it's only on the toll road. It's like 20 minutes. It's like 35 miles.
Oh wow. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's not bad.
yeah.
Um, is Austin, because you say that and you said everything you just said there right there. Is Austin still, and we've talked about this in person, is Austin still like a music city, the music city?
Not a chance, man. I mean, it can't be. It's too expensive. It's like, I mean, if you call festivals, like, but it's definitely not the place. You can't live here being a performing musician.
Mm.
You can't make a living being a performing musician in Austin anymore.
I feel like it's definitely like if you're a consumer, I feel like it's still not, it's probably still a good time for you. But yeah,
Yeah,
from the flip side, like, and the way technology is going and how we make music, like, it just feels like, at least for our genres, like, I don't know what the benefit is there anymore, like, for music and stuff, for our
right.
music, like,
Yeah,
so,
totally. I mean, it's difficult to make a living. And if you can't make a living from performing live, how are you going to make a living?
mm,
You're not going to get enough streams. Nobody's going to buy your records at the show unless you have actual vinyl, and even then, that's a small subset. But like when the Lemurs, we used to get a guarantee, right? Every show would have a guarantee this amount.
damn.
So you could actually make a decent living,
Mm,
or you could at least survive. You know what I mean? Versus
yeah.
now, I mean, how much could you know whoever Liz Russell, how much could you know somebody ask for a guarantee? They get laughed away. They wouldn't even get booked. So
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll play. But I'm gonna ask for a guarantee.
You just
Maybe
get,
Boom Back, maybe Boom Baptist. I don't know. But who else at that level could ask for a guarantee? I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think the city's gonna be? Like, is it just gonna be like another tech city or what? Like, is that where we're headed or?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like, right? I mean, you got all these huge tech companies that have come in.
SF2?
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's just that third coast, yeah.
Yeah.
That tech coast, yeah.
Yeah. This time, no port, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you count like Lake Austin or something.
Right, right.
Um, what do you believe that people think you're crazy for believing?
Damn. There's a, there's a lot of those. Um,
Just one. We don't need the whole book.
um, it's not that crazy, but let's see. I do think that, let's see how to say this. I do think a lot of the religious stories and fables that are written in the Bible, in the Old Testament, were influenced by psychedelics.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But expand on that. Influenced by psychedelics.
Well, I think so. Just for the Moses story, right? Which is funny because I took that name and I realized how much more it fit up.
Yeah.
So there's a story in the Bible where he sees the burning bush, and then God talks to him through the burning bush. I think there's some historical research on that, and that he may have ingested some like ayahuasca from one of the plants during his trek up the mountain, and in that state, right, he recounted it as a burning bush and hearing these instructions from God when they may very well have been the fact that he was, basically experiencing an ayahuasca trip and seeing the hallucinogens and communicating in that altered state.
Mm.
You know.
Damn. The truth behind the book, the good book.
That's right.
This is a new one. I don't know if this is something that'll stick, but I don't know. As I watch too many self-helpy podcasts, I just be adding them and be thinking like, this might be interesting. Like to ask people, what is your greatest failure?
Greatest failure. It's tough because as a person who watches those and listens to those podcasts, I've trained myself to see failures as a sort of step or an opportunity to progress.
The flip. Flip the script.
Yeah. So every single failure, right, that I've had has also been like a unique opportunity to sort of come out of that,
Yeah. So what was one of those? Now that you view the glass as full, half full.
One of those was I worked for an entertainment company. I was the creative director. I got fired for that job. Yeah. So it's probably one of the biggest failures.
And how'd you flip that into, I guess, stepping stone?
I ended up producing a short film on my own that went to Cannes Film Festival. So that was...
Dang, you just hiding stuff. I'm asking all the wrong questions. What was this about? What was this about?
Yeah.
Why are you hiring me? I've never been at Cannes Festival. Why are you hiring me to film you lately?
So, that's funny. I produced a short film. A friend of mine, Jason Marlowe.
Yeah.
He was really good at the time, After Effects guy. The entertainment company did a 2008 video for Obama with Drez from Black Sheep.
Yeah.
He rewrote the lyrics to Choice Is Yours, and we did this video behind it. He did the After Effects, and anyway, I got to know him, and he had the short film. So after that job disappeared, I had some savings, and so I gave him some money. We ended up producing a short film in Big Bend, and it got into Cannes and sort of did this sort of festival circuit.
Damn.
So that was taking that negative opportunity and turning it into that positive.
That's what's up. I need a...
Yeah.
Damn. Like I said, I've narrowed my focus, man, but like I think that's probably the next evolution for me at some point with videos is learning the After Effects, because I think that will take me from being a guy who like makes stuff to like a guy that people really want him to make stuff for other people.
Dude, if you learn After Effects, you'll be in demand.
My main problem with that has always been like a lot of the skills I have them because I wanted to use them for me, and I guess like over time you realize what you are, and like definitely I'm like a documentarian, right? I love capturing things, and a lot of times I'm like, yeah, like outside of color correction, I'm like, why do I want to plop crap on it, but so like I haven't, in my personal art, I haven't like had a need for it yet, and then when I try to force myself to learn it, it's not as motivational. It's like, okay, I want to do this. How do I do it? Now I'm motivated to learn it,
Right. Yeah.
But
it's a skill set in high demand though, for real.
It is. But anyway, I used to talk about this guy, Richie Branson, and he was an artist, and he was an artist in San Antonio who no one knew who he was locally, but through like making video content, he created a 6-figure career for himself, and still no one knows that he's from here.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, he's so successful, he lives in San Francisco, which is the horrible. We talking about rent, right? The horrible, the worst rent,
Unimaginable. Yeah.
So like,
you know that? Do you watch Mr. Robot? You know that show?
I never watched it, but I heard a lot of good things about it.
Our cinematographer for the short film ended up getting a lot of awards for that short film, and then ended up getting the job as Mr. Robot. So he's the cinematographer for Mr. Robot now. Yeah.
I have, as I think about like where my creative path's going, like one of the things I've been doing is like I told you I think I told you probably off the podcast. I'm gonna purge my vault.
Yeah.
Um, but right before I even get to that, I'm purging the stuff I owe people. Like I'm rendering a documentary right now for a content, and then I'm working on a second documentary, and then I'm doing like a promo video for a firm. But pretty much I'm just clearing the IOUs for everybody,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then I'll probably clear my vault. But then after that, I'm probably gonna make like creative challenges for myself, and that'll probably be
Nice.
when I get my After Effects skill set. Because right now it's just not gonna come. It's just not gonna.
So
I'm gonna
yeah.
like have to like force it in a way that benefits me. Like I'll start making music videos for myself and all that,
Yeah.
but I want to do it where I don't have that pressure of, oh, I should be doing something for ABC, you know,
Totally.
whatever I
Yeah.
owe people. Um, if you were, you do real quick, do you know After Effects?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
If you were rich, how would you live your life?
It's I'm pretty happy to say probably pretty similarly
Mm,
as I'm living now. Um, Probably with just a little less, worry about the next month, right?
yeah.
But really, probably very similarly. My wife and I have a company. We work together. Awesome little 8-year-old daughter who I get to see a lot. So shifting into having my own business, we got to hang out with her a ton more. So probably I'm maybe, well, not now, but whenever you can travel, we just travel a little bit more.
Mm.
But aside from that, man, things are pretty set up.
There's a question I just thought of. I'm curious since you have the family. Trying to find out like what I'm even trying to ask, but what would you say has been like, or I don't know if benefit is the right word I'm looking for, but what have you enjoyed most about being in the shared experience with another person?
In the what experience?
I called it the shared experience, like when you're in that type of real relationship, you're married and all that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
shared experience with another person,
Right.
So
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a certain sort of level that two people have to get to individually, right? As people, right? So they have their own lives, they have their own interests, and then together they come to share the middle life. You know what I mean? And so it took us both a long time to get our own individual, independent lives in a way that we're comfortable and fulfilled by, so it's that you can have a middle life that you're happy to share with each other.
Mm,
And so the biggest positive part of that is having somebody that knows, the context and the background for how you react to something, right? Or knows how to react if something happens and you sort of, you're upset or you're pissed off or you can't talk about it right now. They sort of have that background and understanding of how to sort of communicate with you about sort of large ticket items like getting fired or,
mm,
um, wanting to look for a new job or whatever the case may be. You have a sort of huge bedrock, the language that you established, that you know how to communicate with each other that doesn't exist with anywhere else.
mm.
That makes sense because you work at developing a vocabulary with each other so that when you use these words, when you say this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It means we're in big kid talk. It's like you have that sort of level of understanding with that other person.
Got you. I'm just curious, like, cause I feel like as someone who in the recent time has spent like a lot of time, maybe like chasing the infatuation of others. So I'm always just curious about the shared experience and those who have it in real life.
Right. Yeah.
Um, what is your goal in life?
My goal in life would be to expose some of these large healthcare companies, right, for how much fraud that the fraud that they perpetuate, these, the sickness and the diseases that they help perpetuate. So
Mm,
to help the wider public understand that a lot of the claims that are made are straight up marketing and advertising, and that the healthcare industry and the insurance industry are completely rigged against you, and you know they're not part of your sort of toolkit for help. It's the opposite,
Mm.
unfortunately.
How would you go about even doing it?
I'm trying to figure that out. I think one of the only ways to do it is using the sort of tools that they use against them, right? Which is social media, which is grassroots campaigns with online advocates,
Yeah.
um, creating content that's interesting enough to catch people's attention without being pedantic or without being like boring,
Mm.
and without being conspiratorial. So one of the things that I'm trying to do in my job is to get documents disclosed to the public interest. So either if it's a FOIA request or if it's a complaint that attaches exhibits that we use so that can become public. A lot of times, if you settle with a company, you have to sign a settlement document that basically keeps all the exhibits that you use in your negotiations private. So any documents that we have that would reveal their wrongdoing, if it's settled, nobody gets to see.
Mm.
You know, and a lot of times, even the only time you get to see these documents is if the it goes to trial. So if the case goes to trial, it's used in trial, then you can see these documents. But
Mm.
try to figure out how the documents that I've seen and I have access to, I can create, how I can get those to become viewed by the public.
Bam.
You know,
Yeah, man. That'd be interesting. You can make that happen, man.
trying to, yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. So
3 things thankful for in life.
music, right? Melody. Just having, I'm very thankful for that. Curiosity, I guess. Having that curious interest about things, and then love, whether that's love for the family member, love for a homie,
Mm.
just love for a song, right? Just I'm thankful to be able to experience that versus some people who, unfortunately, I think live in some dark inner worlds that don't open themselves up to have access to that.
Yeah, man. It can be tough when you don't have access to those things.
For sure.
As a quick side question, or maybe not quick, depending on how you answer it. But right now, as you talked about, you wrote those documents for feedback. Right now, that's feedback's main output. And given everybody and their own personal goals, that might be all it is these mixtapes or whatever we're doing on Spotify. But what would you like to see feedback even do that it either hasn't done or hasn't done in a while,
Man, I really like I love the flip tapes. I mean, I love those beat tapes.
Mm.
That was a lot of fun. I'd like to see them get back to where somebody, right, releases their sample pack, and then that's what gets flipped.
If we
Like
did that, I would like it from us because I do. I'm
that's what I'm
definitely
saying.
a stickler for releases, so like I would like them to still be on Spotify because SoundCloud's dead
No,
now.
just from
Yeah.
the the artist group, right?
Okay.
So just doing like your stim pack, or there's also stim pack, my stim pack, right?
Yeah.
Brainwave stim pack. That was a lot of fun when it was just the people that were doing the flips produced and then got the flips based on their sample set.
I mean, well, I feel like that's kind of realistic, and now that we have a legal
Yeah,
agreement,
yeah, totally. For sure, for real, yeah.
yeah. Well, I know Tomas definitely watches these, so maybe, you could talk it over with Casey, Tomas.
Yeah, exactly.
Because yeah, as long as they come out, they come out.
Yeah.
Where you see yourself 3 years in the future?
In Colorado, Ridgeway, Colorado.
Ah, yeah, you were hinting
Yeah,
at that, and you told me
yeah.
something, and you told me why in person, but like, yeah, why?
It's just somewhere I always grew up. We went a couple years ago, and I love the environment. I love the mountains and everything. But then more than that, it was the schools, and the parks, the money that they've recouped on the taxes from the cannabis, right? They've made all
Mm,
these amazing, beautiful public parks. The roads are immaculate. The school system is doing really well. And so I just want to be in a place, an environment that contributes those tax dollars to something that, I'm interested in: schools, infrastructure, parks, public parks, versus something in Texas where I don't feel like that tax money is going to the exact place where I would like it to go to.
I got you. But yeah, no, like I definitely want to go to I want to do Colorado round two because yeah, like
Yeah,
I've only been downtown, dead ass center downtown, whatever Union Square, right? Or Station, whatever
right.
that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Literally stayed like 5 blocks away from that and honestly, except for I think the only time I left the downtown area where we got into a car was to do a one of the rare times I've done someone else's podcast and it was at a dispensary.
yeah.
Um And yeah, that was interesting since I don't smoke or nothing. So being there and then being behind the scenes and all that, and then doing their show, and then just having to be there, like had a famous, they had no, I don't know if famous is the right word, but anyway, they had a politician on too who was like running for,
Oh yeah,
whatever. So like I
yeah.
got to talk. It was their interview, but I even got to talk with him and ask him a question. So, but I really
Nice.
haven't explored Colorado that is in downtown Denver, and downtown Denver is cool, but it's also a downtown, it just
Yeah.
felt like a
Oh, dude,
city.
once you get out up in the mountains, man, you love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to check it out one day.
So
Um, what is the perfect day?
probably like a summertime. Obviously no
I was
coronavirus.
gonna
Getting up.
say this is gonna be an interesting summer,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Totally. Well, so exactly. So perfect day to be getting up because we have a pool, right? And so
Yeah.
go swimming with my daughter. She loves swimming. Go in the pool. Hang out. Um, I don't know. Probably make something on the grill.
Mm.
Put some tunes on. She just learned how to use a record player. So I'm letting her pick records, and she's putting the record player down. She thought she called them CDs for a long time. She's like, Dad, can I play the CDs? I was like, no, that's vinyl. Those are records. That's not a CD. So
Mm.
she learned how to do that. So it's funny to see what she'll pick out based on the album cover. So she'll put something on. That's probably it, man. She's probably, laid back, low key, you
Mm.
know, swimming, maybe hit some Barton Springs, nice.
Oh man, I finally just went there last year for the first time. Barton
Oh,
Springs.
oh, that was the first time? Damn.
Yeah, man. Like I was very water averse,
Yeah,
and I think it's coincidence. I don't know how to swim, but like that was one of the reasons that maybe helped me remain water averse.
right.
But Tomas would always bug me, and I caved in, and I went, and it was really fun. I still can't swim, but
Yeah.
it was really fun,
You know,
and it's
there's some
cold.
shallow parts.
Yeah, that's where he
Yeah,
took me. He took me to the shallow
totally.
parts, and then we would go like
Right.
hiking around all of it, and it was nice. It was a good
It
time.
was nice.
I'm gonna miss it
Yeah,
now that I'm not there. I'm gonna miss it when it's
I
hot.
know. I miss it right now. Nobody's going right now. Yeah.
um, let's see. I think there's another new one that an experimental one that I think will benefit me. Hopefully. Who do you know that I should know?
Who do I know that you should know?
Yeah.
Um, oh man, you know that dude, that podcast, that YouTube guy. He just produced the what's his name? The Lucas Joyner album. Will, the dude Crank Lucas?
Oh yeah, I know Crank Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you already know him.
Yeah. He does some
No, his
interesting stuff, man. He really
he
does.
does. And he just did that. He just did that Will song. Did you see that video?
Okay, wait. We talking about the rapper Joyner Lucas or
He did Joyner Lucas's video for Will, right? He produced that song.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? He's talking about Will Smith.
So I know that song.
Yeah.
Are you saying I should know the producer or should I know Joyner Lucas?
The producer is Crank Lucas.
Oh, it is Crank Lucas?
Yes,
Oh
totally.
shit. Okay, I was missing
No,
that.
no, I
That's
didn't realize that.
wild.
Isn't that crazy? So
That
he came up
is.
through the YouTube, and then now he's producing
Real
that song, which
shit.
is number one song in the world right now, number one video in the world.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, no, that actually changed today because Drake dropped the song. So get ready.
What's up?
I said, can you hear me? Or
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's gonna change today because Drake dropped the song and he was trending already,
Okay.
number one. So
So he had a little bit of time there at least.
yeah, no, hey man, 1 week is a lot in this day. In this day.
Totally. Especially to have number one video and number one song at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drake only dropped the audio and that shit was number one. And I heard it only once and that was good enough for me. But
Yeah.
lyrically, it just was like, all right, this reminds me of another Hotline Bling. And then I scrolled
Right.
through the comments and it's like, man, Drake's a genius. Because now that we're all confined to home, this is going to kill it on TikTok. Because it's a song just telling people to dance and
Oh,
like left foot and
totally.
right foot. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he is going to murder this easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So yeah. But still like I know Joyner Lucas more because of especially now that I'm rapping more and stuff, so I'm paying attention to lyrics now and stuff. So I'll
Yeah,
be like
very
studying
creative.
rapper. So I know him from that part actually.
Very
S-
creative. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
creative content. Yeah,
yeah, nice. So he's a very good lyricist. So uh,
totally.
I went into Will I think on day 1 or 2, and I didn't expect it to be a Will Smith tribute. So then it became like when I was happening, I was
Yeah,
like, oh, this man's going hard, yo.
totally. I like it. And the beats dope. And the beats Craig Lucas. Yeah,
Yeah, man. I
yeah.
remember some of those videos. One of my favorites is when he's making fun of Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shit's so funny, man. I was watching this shit for a while. It's amazing, you know. And his beats, and then like how he would do the different styles of rap,
Yeah.
different diss tracks through the ages.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Kendrick Lamar more than Eminem, but Eminem has it too. Like if they're gonna rap, it's like their portion of the beat, even if they're a feature, just starts transforming.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, dude, like it's like an opening ceremony for me rapping. It's like,
I know. Yeah.
and then
Hilarious.
and
Did you
then
hear that? Hear that Eminem track Godzilla? Did you check out?
yeah, because I heard that album, so yes, I did hear
Yeah.
it. Um,
That for the last whatever.
yeah, I'm surprised that it probably didn't go as viral as this Drake thing was, but I'm like, I was surprised in the modern era that Eminem could make something that like I guess is a pop culture thing, you know?
Right.
Um,
Well, that last 40 seconds or whatever is crazy.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
going that fast
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that I
And he
rap,
did
rap is hard, so I appreciate that a
totally. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
lot.
Ridiculous.
Pronunciation and all that shit.
I know. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. Like that dude's hard. Like I don't know how you feel about some of the recent albums and uh but like even the ones that suck, like he
Yeah.
still always comes with a high lyrical value. I
Oh,
just
totally. Yeah.
hear them once and I'm like, I don't need to hear that again, but I still
Yeah.
appreciate the art form, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Totally.
Like
I'm the
the,
same way.
yeah, like he's
I
never
mean,
been whack. He kind of found stuff he likes and it doesn't at least I can't speak for the masses, but I think I could speak for maybe what the stereotype hip hop culture fan might be. He doesn't necessarily have the beats all the time that might cater to that group of
right.
people,
Right. Yeah.
but his lyrics they've never been whack. You know, like,
Huh. I mean, you can't question his lyrics for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's crazy.
And
But
I think ever since people complain about that album, you can tell in the last two, he's making
yeah.
the adjustment, which is nice
Yeah.
to see. Not that so much that he's making the adjustment, but I feel a lot of. I think rap has been the only genre, and granted, I'm only alive now, but outside looking in, it feels like rap's the only genre where like, oh, like there's a clock on their hands, like, oh, I'm old now, I can't rap no more, you know, like
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's right.
everybody else, you got the Rolling Stones, you got BB King
Yep.
doing it too. He's dead, you know, like Buddy
Yep.
Guy, all these
Totally.
guys, you know. But rap is like my favorite example is always Andre 3000. You know, he's like,
Yep.
I don't want to be an old man on stage, you know, and like I mean make
Exactly.
fun of him like that. But I just found that like almost disrespectful. Like man, like
Yeah.
so like I don't know, hip hop's only good for you until you're like 30,
Until
and after
40.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's
Exactly.
stupid. Like come on, man. Like I don't know. I just don't like that mindset where people like, oh, I don't want to be an old man rapping, and I'm like, but there's so many old musicians that,
Exactly.
yeah, like
Exactly.
why can't you rap and be old? You know, like
Right. You still got something to say. You got something to say. You
yeah,
know.
at least in the mainstream level, the content uh of the lyrics doesn't always change. So
Right.
I can understand not wanting to talk about that when you're older,
Yeah.
but like I guess from again a mainstream perspective, I think the Jay-Z 444 album might be one of the few examples of
Right.
changing content while you grow old. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it just might be still too young of a genre, you know?
Right.
All right. This is the last question. What's the question that I should have asked you, but I didn't?
Hmm. Um. What's the first song you ever wrote?
What is the first song you ever wrote?
It's probably that song for high school band. Yeah. called "Sheep Are Scared." It's some stupid like funk hip hop song.
Yeah.
We just made up some silly shit like Primus.
Mm. Did you do the lyrics on it?
Yeah, wrote the lyrics.
Do you remember it?
Yeah. I don't, man. I do not remember it.
Oh man. Are you
But that's it.
do you got any well, that's the last real question, but do you got any other like music stuff coming out or anything or?
I'm not for a little bit, man. I'm still getting, like I said, I'm trying to figure out what I want to release next. I got a bunch of old stuff I'm trying to mess with, but
Do
I
the
gotta get some
songs,
big.
man. Do the songs.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
vocal stuff, man.
I think I might do that. Basement Banquet, the one I played you, was one of the last ones I did, which I liked. So I think I might start putting some vocals back on it.
Yeah, man, that'd be dope, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where can the people find you online?
Got a YouTube page, Moses on Motorbike, YouTube,
Mm.
Facebook, Instagram. But YouTube's probably the best spot. SoundCloud, but nobody goes to SoundCloud anymore. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
All right. Last words.
Man, that's it. I appreciate the time, man. It's been crazy trying to get this going. You know?
It's been crazy having a straight conversation. Discord, yo.
I know, right? Exactly. No chats coming up or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for doing it. And bake that
You got it.
chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh.
You got it, man.
Boom.
Out.
Fire pizza.
Hey, do that. Send that shit, brother. Send that shit, brother.
I'm on this emotional roller coaster. I'm on this emotional roller coaster. aLrboosh. I'm on this emotional roller coaster. Wanna get rid of yo. Tired of silly flow. Admire the back and forth. Don't exist no more. Blinded heart, feeling po. No ball, court to score. Happily, nevermore.
Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. This is the time. Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. I wanna be fine. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me.
In prison, my room, always dirty, no broom. Addictions, your tunes, daydreams, love blooms for you. Songs croon, Mario, tunes, still ill, never grew. Man, I love you.
Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. This is the time. Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. I wanna be fine. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me.